higher.
What's up, Neki?
Hello.
It's been a minute since we've been in the studio.
Yeah.
We were at a community event last week, so we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. FICA Season 6, Episode 31, with our new intro. A little long, that intro. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but let's see. Our topics today are, we got the Big Bay Area community event that we had, a bunch of them that we attended. That's the big data reveal a week ago tonight. We were at the Samoan Community Development Center. Faitau Friday, we spent some time at Bret Hart Elementary on Faitau Friday with children. Le Maota with Samoan Solutions. So cool to see them get their own space. We got some pictures to share with you on that. In their new spot, All My Usa's Blood Drive, Naki was there. She was there Saturday, I believe. Mose gave blood. Got a picture of that, and the community turned out. Naki and I can't give blood because our immune systems are compromised. So, although Naki was there, she was not getting stuck with a needle. And then last, we're going to be talking about our Miami Dolphins QB Tua Tagovailoa, an injury update, and really what it equates to the mishandling of that injury from both the Dolphins and the NFL. So that's the show today. Naki, what's up?
Hey, happy Thursday. We were crazy busy last Thursday. We got to MC Kapasa Fetu'u, which was what is it? It was a
community needs assessment. That Big Purr. What's Big Purr?
Pacifica Urban Roots. So that is All My Usos, Tasi, and PBD and SCDC, along with Sui Tonbai is the clinician there. So he's part of that. It was also Professor Lassie and Professor Sarah Tanavasa, who helped train everyone, the Kapasa Fetu'u crew. And so that was held at SCDC, and I can't for the life of me remember who they had decorate SCDC, but it looked like a completely different place. So SCDC.
Tupo Latukefu was the one that was in charge of getting it done. So I don't know exactly if she went outside to get it done.
Yeah, they hired Sister something. I know I got it. It's
Naki and I said immediately when we walked in, we're like, somebody's going to attempt to have a wedding here.
Yeah.
Because you could have tried to explain that to me and explain to me how that place looked. And there's no way I would have been able to envision that unless you were there that night and you actually saw the tables with the centerpieces, all the coverings on the walls. It was amazing. And I've seen that place take on a whole bunch of different looks. I mean, it's a volleyball court, it's a basketball court, it's a community meeting.
It's a photo exhibit.
That is a complete multi-purpose room, but I don't think that I've ever seen it look like that. So it was cool. Boy, did the community turn out. That place was
packed. It was completely packed. It's a needs assessment done by Pacific Islander researchers. So of course, and it's asking the community what they need and what they want, what kind of services they need or what they want to see, instead of people telling our community what we're going to give you, here you go, and that's it. So
I think that's the good thing about giving services to the community. it's nice to have the services, but at some point you got to ask the community,
Yeah.
what do they want? Because I think that
Yes.
there were obviously learnings from sitting down, and I call it sitting across the kitchen table, breaking bread with the community, asking them, what do we need? And what do we need in terms of housing, in terms of, medical care, education, all those kind of things. And to hear it from the community and see our team, our Brown team of data researchers
Right.
present all that information, it was a big moment.
Yeah, it was awesome. The event planners were Sisters Event Planning. They set up and decorated the hall, so big shout out to them. The food was done by Sekia. So all the
Oh, that's
people
right.
that provided the food, decorated, performers, artists, everyone was Pacific Islander. It was such a beautiful event. And then they gave out swag bags with by Urbanesian, like bags were like, I love Urbanesian. We had
Levasa had product in
Levasa
there.
had created their sweatshirts for Kapasa Petu. Just they had, Pacific Islander coloring books and coffee cups, and just the bags were like pretty badass. So a big shout out to um, the crew for putting the bags together, and every single person who took the survey or registered got a free swag bag. So that was awesome. And then again, the food was done by Sekia, who was Bay Area. The music was provided by DJ Silla, and who performed at the Pacific Feats Festival in Santa Clara this past July. So that's how we knew about her. Tracy Williams, who is an artist out of the Bay Area, who we first interviewed in Utah like 3 years ago. She moved back to the Bay and did a live painting during the event. So it was really good. It was beautiful, the art piece that she did, which I think we have a picture of it or pictures. But big shout out to Danny Boy Vetavalu, who was kind of like the project manager of the whole event. Him and Tupo did a great job.
They've done a really good job.
They did an amazing job. It was so
of
good.
making it happen, because our community has so much talent, so much skill, but getting it all together and focusing it on something as really intricate as a
Right.
community needs assessment. D-Boy and Tupo have done a great job of
Oh my
making sure
gosh,
everybody
yes.
stays focused and getting that to completion.
Yeah.
And seeing all the information that they gathered. I think they talked to 365 Pacific Islanders that either live or receive services
Right.
in the city of San Francisco. That's huge, and
Yeah.
that data is not going to get gathered by anybody but us. I mean,
Right.
you're not going to be able to hire a data researcher to stand in the wall and ask people, do you want to take a survey? Just not going to happen.
Yeah, and you're not going to get 400 Pacific Islanders show up to receive data and wait and listen to the information or the data that they collected. So, and I think we had spoken to Elise, who was here from down UCLA. She came up for the event and she said only Pacific, like we sat, you won't get Pacific Islanders to sit through data, but you will if the data was collected by Pacific Islander researchers. So
And presented by the same researchers. So
yes.
to see, Tone and Cree
Mhm.
and D-Boy and, all the people that participated in it
Yes.
were up there on stage proudly presenting the information. It was a really fun night. It was a fun night from the perspective of, like, there was entertainment. Hi Guy Lai was there. Shout out to Hi Guy Lai and the music that he put on. They auctioned off a outfit by 200.
Yep.
So they did a good job early involving, the community, every piece of it.
Yes.
So not only was it data researchers that were Brown presenting information that they got from the community, but it was, like you said, in the swag bag.
Yes.
There was stuff from Urbanesian. There was stuff from Levasa.
Yeah, I love Urbanesian. So yeah, so it was just the event all the way around was really good, and SCDC was transformed into like this huge. So up on the screen we have High Guy Lai, who was performing a lot of his Jada songs, which is songs about his cousin who was shot in the Bay Area. And then that's Tracy Williams with the portrait that she actually painted from beginning to end during the event.
You know what was really cool about the picture is after I sat and talked with her, and I said, "Is that a picture of something that you thought you were going to do from the beginning and then you did it?" And she said, "No, she actually had an idea of how she wanted the picture to end up. And then listening to the presentation, listening to the information, she changed that on the fly and made the picture that you saw earlier that was up on the screen. So she ended up just doing that on the fly, on a whim."
She's pretty badass. So yeah, I love her artwork. And there up on the screen, you'll see Danny Boy, Karina, Tupo, Tone, and Christine Moia, and Sylvia, who was with Fatasi, was not present. She had a family event going on. But
so take a look at those tables, people. If you've been to SCDC, have you ever seen the tables look like that?
Right.
Those ones on the front,
totally
those
like
were
a
ones
wedding.
they added to help, right?
Right.
But the original in the last picture, you could actually see the centerpieces. You could see all those different things that really, like I said earlier, you just can't picture that unless you were there.
Yeah, so it was really good. So, I love the whole event, everything. They did a great job. SCDC did a great job putting it together. The Big Purr, they, of course, for months have been doing interviews, going to people's homes, meeting people at SCDC. So big shout out to, Amu Fatasi, SCDC, Sui, Tone, so everyone that participated in the event. Great job. They had Mango Otai by Fat Boy Buddha, who dropped off like tons of mango otai, which was really good. They had just everything you can think of. They were so prepared, and so just if you want to a copy of the needs assessment, you can reach out to SCDC. They had a copy. They put it in a book. It was really well put together. So they have a book if you're interested in the needs assessment. Reach out to SCDC. But it was a really great event, and so we got to MC and we got to sit in the back and see all the craziness happen. Which really there wasn't that much craziness. So.
I got to say. I had my mind wasn't there that night, and Naki really picked up the ball and ran with it because I was a little scattered in my mind, and I thought you did an amazing job picking up the pieces because I was a little all over the place.
I didn't think so.
Points that Naki had people up out of their seats. She got the standing ovations going.
Oh, yeah.
She had the crowd reacting, so I just wanted to say, well done.
Well, thank you. You too. I didn't even notice that you were not feeling 100, but okay.
You're being kind.
No. You did really good job. So yeah, that was Kabasa Fitu. So they had PIYA performed, Pacific Islander Youth Alliance, who is celebrating over 25 years. Lai did his songs for like Cry for Jay, Still in My Arms, All for Jay. They had a raffle with if you weren't there, you missed some big shit.
So they gave away Beats by Dre. You would think that's the big one, right? You would think that's the
iPad.
The big. They gave away an iPad, and they gave away a PS5.
PS5. So if you weren't there, man, you missed out on some good stuff. And not to mention that everyone got a swag bag. And I wish I had my bag because they're beautiful. The bag itself is art. So go check out Urbanesian and check out her stuff on Instagram. And just look at her bags and you can see they had every bag that she makes. They ordered for over 200 people. It was, well over. There was close to 300-400 people there. So.
And in typical Pacific Islander fashion, there was a certain amount that RSVP'd, had said they were coming, and then there was a certain amount of people who just
showed up.
And like in one of the pictures we showed earlier, there were tables with coverings and centerpieces and all those kind of things. And then there was tables at the front where they actually just brought out more tables and set them down because the community needed more seats. There's a good picture. So if you look in the back, all those tables have coverings and they have centerpieces and everything. And at the front, those tables were just put out there last minute. They wouldn't be
trying to fit everybody. Yeah.
More people showed up than they had thought, which I thought was really cool. That the community showed up for data. You know what I mean? Like
that's
boring
crazy.
Data, but to because again, the community is the ones that gathered the information.
Right. So it was awesome. It was just I've been saying this everywhere that it's a historical event just because PIs did the needs assessment and made the effort to go to people's homes and collect the information, or had meetings after work, before work, run during their lunch. So it was a great event.
Now we know we can do it. Now they know.
Yes, now they're gonna gather data on everything. Right. Everything that's gonna get gathered now, because there's no data on Pacific Islanders. So big shout out to Big Purr and SEDC for
data is information. Information is power. That gives you a voice at the table where things like programming and support and funding and resources, those things happen at the table, and data can give you the voice at that table to show, hey, there's not 3 of us here. There's hundreds, there's thousands. Same thing with, we always talk about the census and all those kind of things. So just congratulations to SCDC, Big Purr. Yeah. And then shouting out D-Boy. He did a fantastic job keeping everybody on path.
Yeah, and so that was Thursday. And then Friday.
So we made the run into the city on Thursday night, went back home, and then Friday headed right back down into the city and ended up at Bret Harte Elementary, right?
Bret Harte Elementary, yeah. San Francisco Unified School District, their NHPI program that is led by Miss Heavenly Onawai, asked us if we could read to the 3rd graders there at Bret Harte Elementary. Vital Friday is what their program is called. So if you're a Pacific Islander community leader, look out for Miss Heavenly to call you. So we trekked down to San Francisco. We went to the elementary school and we read Tutu Makes a Lay.
Tutu Makes a Lay by a Hawaiian author.
Kuana Torres Kahele.
And that's Faika Friday. Faika means read, right? Reading Friday. So, and each book's going to be a book either by or about Pacific Islanders. And we had a moment in the beginning where Heavenly said, hey, do you know what a Pacific Islander is? Do you know what a Samoan is? And some of them raised their hands, some of them didn't. So then she did a good job of, does anybody have any Polynesian friends? Do they know any Polynesians, Tongan Samoans? And then we got a bit of a reaction, but at that point I thought, well, it's a bunch of kids. Let's get a little bit better reaction. And I said, does anybody watch professional wrestling? And everybody went crazy and said they watch professional wrestling. WWE. WWE. And I said, well, Roman Reigns is Samoan. That's Polynesian. And they went, oh, okay. And I said, The Rock is Samoan. That's Polynesian. And immediately one of the kids said, what about the Usos? And I looked at Naki and I was like, I don't know if I should bust her out. So I busted Naki out about having a connection to the Usos. And Naki didn't read for the rest of the night. The rest of the evening, my punishment was she turned the pages and I read the book.
I was planning on reading until that happened, and then I just, oh dang, there's a picture of me holding the book over my face, and I'm just turning. I was the page turner. She was
like the Vanna White of Faika Friday.
Yes,
she's like, I will just turn it, and everybody else can read it.
Yeah,
it was a really good time.
The kids were so good, and I loved their teacher. was a Samoan
Mhm.
teacher, and then down the hall when we were walking, there was another Pacific Islander teacher, and then the program is led by a Pacific Islander. I was like, man, I love this shit.
Yeah, and it was okay. I knew more about legs than I thought I did
Yeah,
because the kids are asking questions, and we're like, we don't want to make anything up, but at the same time,
yes,
like talking about how they're made and talking about who they're given to and all those kind of things. It was a
yeah,
good time. It was a good time
it was a
spent with
good
the kids, and
time.
it was really nice, like
Yeah,
Maggie says, to see all the Pacific Islanders. And
right. It's awesome. So, if you, I'm gonna, if I think of you like Christine Malia with Amu and I'm gonna throw them under the bus, and I think Heavenly's gonna have them read one Friday. But it's such a good event for the kids, and it's good for the kids that are non-Pacific Islanders
Mhm.
to get a taste of, a little bit of what Pacific Islanders are and stories. So
What a
yeah,
great children's book
it
too.
was a great book too.
Tutu Makes
Tutu
a
Makes
Lay
a Lay.
is a great children's book.
Yeah, and so I
Ooh, there's
have
a picture.
there's a picture. That picture is of the book Tutu Makes a Lay, and then that was the flyer that was put out on social media of us for Fight Till Friday. So yeah, I would do it again. It was such a good event. I would
Yeah,
do it
next time
again.
you could read.
Yeah, next time I'll read. Next time you hush it and I'll read. You the page turner. You the page turner.
I will
So
turn the pages next time if we're a team,
yes.
and then you can read.
Yes, yes, yes. So big shout out to Anton Santos, who's checking in on Facebook from Victorville, California.
High Desert.
Yes, Evelyn Fooley, who's checking in from
Good evening, Auntie.
Chula Vista, who I had to send Mo's bag to. She's seen it while I was talking to her on
Why do you send
FaceTime.
Mo's and not yours?
Because mine is busy. Mine is taken. We were on FaceTime. I was talking to my mom on FaceTime, and she just happened, I guess the background had the bag or the bag, swag bag, and she's like, oh, I like that. Send it to me. And I was like, so my whole thing was like, lady, you weren't even there. You have to be there
The
to
swag
get a
bag
bag,
is
the
there for
swag
people over
bag.
there.
And she's like, what came in there? And I go, there was a coffee cup. She don't want the coffee cup, but there was a coloring book and color pencils. So she'll give that to my niece, Marcelle. And so, and then she's like, I like the bag. Send me the bag. Send me the bag. So this whole time I'm talking about her all week. She wasn't even there. And she's like, send me the t-shirt. And I go, this t-shirt is Mo's size. So it'll be too big for you. And so then I'm going on, and I'm telling Carl, and I go, yeah, my mom wants a bag. She wasn't even there. And she just seen it in the background. And then what
And
did
then
you
I'm
say?
about to tell you a
Yes.
story, tell you all a
Yeah.
story about bags. I was like, gee, I wonder where you get that, because I was at a meeting at our corporate office a few years ago, and I took a picture. The stage had these amazing lights and the stage setup and everything. And I was thinking about Faika going, hey, like we could do an event like that had the. So I took a picture of the stage and the lights and the name of the company and the logo and everything, thinking about a show that we could do. And I sent it to her, and I was like, what do you think of the stage? She sends back one message, nothing about the stage or the lights or the logo. She said, what's in the bags? And I was like, what bags? I didn't even know there were bags in the pictures. In the picture on the center, or at every seat at every table, there were swag bags.
Yeah.
And Naki didn't care about the stage. She didn't care about any of that nonsense.
Nope.
She was just like, what's in the bags? And bring me one of those bags.
I'll get it from my mama.
And now that's why I was good. I go, don't you harp on your mama, because you were like, yeah, just bring me some of those bags.
Yeah. So that's where I get it from. There you go. So she got her bag. Maury Monomel checking in at SFO.
Good evening.
Good
Maury.
evening, Maury. Elijah with the music boxes on. He's on every Friday you download the Nice app and catch him Friday. Hit him in his show.
He's been doing that for a minute.
He's been doing it yes. And he's been emceeing shows and just he's doing a really great job.
He's the reason we have a show.
He's the reason why we have a show. We were on his show, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we were on his show, The Music Box, talking about what PBD is about. And then he's like, you guys should have a show.
And we're like, we could not fill up 2 hours. There's no way we'd fill up 2 hours. And then what's it, 6 years later?
Here we are, 6, 7 years later, still talking.
Thank you, Eli.
Yes, thank you, Eli. So go check him out on Facebook and Instagram. The music show, Music with a Q, Elijah.
Music Box.
Music Box. There you go. So yeah, that was the whole Fitu, and then
We went straight
Faitao.
from
Yes.
Faitao Friday.
Right.
We went down the peninsula. Did we get we get food? We probably got food, right? We got sandwiches, I think. We went someplace in South San Francisco was closed. Someplace
Yes.
The sandwich place.
Yeah, so we went to Darby Dan's and they closed early.
3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock. Like, hello, Darby Dan's.
Boo.
What the? So we were gonna go to Little Luca's, but they're always packed and I didn't want to stand in line. And they probably were closed too. And so then we went
by Feel Good Cuts.
Feel Good Cuts, and he wasn't there. And then
absent.
there's a sandwich place right next door.
If you didn't know that there's a sandwich place right next to Feel Good Cuts,
Yeah.
you gotta check it out.
Yeah,
those
it's really
sandwiches
good.
are amazing.
And they have a Feel Good Cuts sandwich. Yeah, sandwich. So I had a pierogi. There, and Carl had a sandwich.
I had a BLT.
You had to be half of a BLT. You had half of BLT. So So we ate and then we went. So Samoan Solutions had a light opening. They have their very own community space. They're celebrating 15 years of doing the work. And so we went to their place, which is in Burlingame. I don't think it's officially open, but
well, it was. They call it a light opening.
Yes,
but it had so much of the stuff that's important to the community to see, to be able to touch. And Epi made a really good statement of, if you see things that you like here, these things are for the community. So if you want information, and they've been so good to us in terms of sharing. Like we were going to do, we're going to do a scholarship or something. And we asked, hey, can we sit down? They made time to meet us at a restaurant, and they had the kids they just made time for us, and it wasn't easy. Like, it was not one of those things where it was just, oh yeah, no, they've cut time out for us, and they've really taught us a lot in terms of being a nonprofit. So to see them, grow into their own space. Ace Tongo visionary.
Yeah, he was one of the people that got them started on their journey. And so they have a space named after him, and his family flew in from Utah. His wife and his daughter flew in from Utah, and it was so nice to meet them. It was such a lovely tribute, and his wife was crying, so of course we're all crying, and so it was such a great event. So that's Epi Amavai and Fanga Misa, who are Samoan Solutions. And so they, together with Dallas Te'o, Mona Tavita Uli, who started the whole nonprofit. And so now Epi and Fanga are running it along with their kids. And one of the guys that we went to Samoan class with, Seki.
Sekio.
Yes, he was an artist. He's on the board.
He was part of we were in the Samoan language and culture class.
Yes. With
him. And
he
was there. I think he blessed the food.
Yes.
Right? And Poppers was there. It was just a really
so nice
good feeling event. And it was one of those things where we talked about after we just hung out, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where Naki and I are literally we should just have a night where everybody just shows up, and there doesn't have to be a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just come and fellowship, come and hang out and just talk, because we talked about that event. That was one of the best things. That was one of the best feels of it, was when we were just sitting around. And then J2E, where, we would just sit around at the table in the kitchen and chop it up. So it was a really good night. And it was nice to see Samoan Solutions get into their own space. Yeah,
it was awesome. I love that they work so hard, and they're just, starting to see, the fruits of their labor, kind of. I mean, they've been for a while, but to see the space that they're in, it's such an awesome space. And the way that they decorated, Epi and Fong are me, chair, table, I'm done. That they really, we posted pictures of the space that they have, and so it's a really, really well put together. They have a library, so we donated Tutu Makes a Lay. We donated the book that we read, and so they have a whole new library in their space, and then they have the Ace Tunnel space. It's like their little, I don't know, not their little, but it's like their auditorium or warehouse area.
Yeah,
So,
and we have some pictures up.
right.
Some of the events. Actually, that picture right there, the
Uh-huh.
book in the middle on the bottom is Tutu Makes a Lay,
Yeah.
donated by Naki.
Okay.
And so as you go through that, it's like 3 different rooms.
Right.
And the area that we were in was this big, huge, wide open area. Like it is this big space. And I thought, hey, they don't have to hunt for spaces for Fangongo Samoa. They can do their rehearsals there.
Yes.
There's a lot of cultural items on display there. And then they had an artist come in and do the items you see on the screen right now. They actually had a artist come in from, where did he come in from? He came in
he came in from Long Beach.
Long Beach. Oh, that's right. He has his own art there. But when those are amazing pieces. You see the picture there. It doesn't really do it justice. If you stand in front of those things, you feel the culture. Those are the 3 pillars of Samoan Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to share the space with us, and of course they fed us, and
yeah, they had Toke Moana food. Hey,
right.
We had the crack. Mm-hmm.
So it was a fun, nice. There's the Ace Tongo picture that hangs on the wall in the big space, Ace Tongo Visionary Space. So it was fun, and we saw a bunch of people that we see. We always talk about that, right? We see Nani, we see Curry, we see a lot of the same people that are out there trying to help the community and uplift the people. So I don't know if that's the light opening. I don't know when the grand opening is, but I'm sure we'll be there too. But congratulations to Epi and Fonga, and then look for their event coming up next month, the Turkey Trot.
Yes.
And we will be providing the food at the Turkey Trot.
Yeah.
And although it's an event for health, the food might not be the most healthy, but it won't be horrible.
Yeah, it'll be free, folks. So
it's healthy because it's free.
Yeah, I can't complain about free. I'm just saying. So yeah, it was a really great event. PD was there.
So nice to see.
Oh my gosh.
PD. Catch on with the community. I was talking to Ace's wife, and talking about how it's so nice to see the community embrace people as they chase their passions, they pursue their dreams, and see the community out there saying, "Hey, come do this." He's going to do a video for us. He was at SCDC. He was at Samoan Solutions light opening. So awesome to see him out there doing it.
Yeah, I love PD. I love that he's working with Samoan Solutions and some other people in the community. So it was a great event. The artist that did that work, Jason Pereira, that's his name. So he does murals, and one of the famous murals that he works on is, I think it's in Carson, the Tautua mural that it's like everywhere. It's if you've seen the Tautua mural, I think it's in Long Beach. It's huge, Taupo on like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't make me suffer.
The mural?
Yes, the mural. So go check it out.
Don't make me suffer.
Don't make me suffer. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's in North Long Beach, California. It's his mural is Ole, the saying Ole ala ile pule tautua. Yeah, so it's a beautiful mural, and you have to, I know you've seen it, so don't make me suffer. Go check it out if you haven't, but you can check him out on Facebook, JPX Insta. Go follow him on Instagram. His artwork is beautiful, and that piece in particular is very well known. So there you go.
And he came in just for that. He came in to do the wall. He did the entire wall, and then but it's good again to see the community as the CBOs grow.
Yes.
To be including PI artists and creators.
Right.
Those
So,
kind of things. So,
yeah, I love it. I love that when we have events, we're actually using Pacific Islander, vendors and artists and clothing. And so it's
it's good
beautiful.
for the stomach too, because the food tastes great.
Yes. I think they served over 400 people at Kapasa Fetu.
Wow.
And then at Tokimoana was at Samoan Solutions, and they had fe'e, which is octopus, which I took some home to Mo, which he killed, and they also had chicken and broccoli and rice. And then me and Leah was killing the cupcakes that they had. So there you go.
Cupcakes
Cupcakes
were good.
Yes. And so then Saturday we went to, or I went with Mo to All My Uso's blood drive, and I got to hang out with Cree and Iz, and Kara Soma was there, and the Stanford that was at SEDC, and so when we got there, Mo had last minute decided that he wanted to give blood, and so he registered, and we interviewed the person that phlebotomist. Phlebotomist, and her name was Anna. She's a Tongan phlebotomist. She said that she volunteers to go to these mobile blood drives, and when she seen that there was a Pacific Islander one, she immediately wanted to get on board because she said she has yet to stick a Pacific Islander.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Saturday was the first time she got to poke at a Pacific Islander. And she said it was so amazing because you don't realize Stanford Blood Center, you don't realize that Pacific Islanders need blood. And so to have Pacific Islanders giving blood, it's huge. You save lives. So that's Miss Cree and her t-shirt oh dang, I forgot your t-shirt. She gave us t-shirts, and I got to eat because Mo gave blood. Mo gave blood, so I got to eat. And so we got a t-shirt. She gave us a t-shirt.
So Mo gave up his bag.
Yeah.
And he gave up his food after he got stuck in the arm.
He didn't give up the stuff in the bag. What does he need a bag for? He's a man. He didn't need a bag. Well, I'm not saying that you can't have a bag if you're a man, but he chose not to keep the bag. Right. And he got a hoodie. He got another SCDC. Like, he got stuff. So he's fine. But yeah.
Don't worry about him.
Yeah, don't worry about him. He's fine. So he gave blood, and while he was giving blood, I was eating up snacks. And and hanging out with Cree and Iz and Soma. And so they gave us, when you give blood, you get an All My Usos t-shirt. And then they gave me one, they gave you one, Mo one, Mena, and Leah. So that was very nice of them. So thank you so much. The whole PBD team got t-shirts. So thank you so much to the All My Usos. So
always good to see them doing the work, giving blood, just like the phlebotomist said, doesn't happen very often. Doesn't, and it wouldn't happen to that level unless the Pacific Islander put that on.
And you had to schedule your appointment. So everyone that came in for their appointment was Pacific Islander, and then some people just walked in from off the streets. And so it was really nice. It was really, we learned some stuff. The blood is held for 40 days. And then I guess after that, if it's not used, then I guess I don't know what they do.
Expiration date on blood.
Yes. And that they take your blood and they test it. They test it to make sure that, and Cree said that some people that have come in and have donated blood, when they get the results, because they test the blood that they take. They don't just take it and go give it to the hospital. They test everything. So I didn't know that. And Cree said that some people that had gotten their blood, that had given blood and their blood got tested, they found out that they had diseases not diseases, but they had they were diabetic, they had high blood pressure, they were low on iron. Had it not been for them to give blood, they wouldn't have found out all this stuff about them. And so, so Mo gave, and he gave enough for the both of us. So I ate like I gave blood. So yeah, all my Usos is doing a great job, and so thank you so much to all my Usos for their blood drive, and they'll be having another one. They have this month. They'll be giving away the money that they collected for their cancer drive that they have. It's Ribbon of Hope. Ribbon of Hope that they've been collecting for the last couple months, which, by the way, I still have the Snacky with Nacky money. And so I didn't forget. We go places and it just doesn't feel right.
We tried
we tried in San Diego, but we knew, like the restaurant we went to, my mom knew the waiter and dragged him over to come get the tip. I was like, yeah, it don't work like that, lady.
And the next place we went, it was our nephew.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I tried, I just couldn't. So, but I'm determined to give it away this weekend. Poor me has to go eat somewhere. So I will go find somewhere to eat. I did find a restaurant in San Francisco that I want to go hit tomorrow
Nice.
with my sister, but we'll see. I don't know.
Say Loa.
I'm like, say Loa. That's right. Say Loa. So yeah, that was like my crazy weekend. And then Sunday, of course, no Faika. And I got to go to church. Thank you, Jesus. I went to church and it was Pamangkunga. So I got to, what is Pamangkunga in English? Communion. There you go. It was communion Sunday. So I got to do, whatever. And then this Sunday coming up at Twin Towers Methodist Church, Mo will be reading from the Bible or reading a scripture. He's reading a scripture for the pastor, and so he's kind of excited about that. Oh. So yeah, there you go. So that's this Sunday at Twin Towers Methodist Church in Alameda.
Yeah. And then after that, all falls apart.
It's in English. It's in English. So yes, the services are in English. So stop by if you're in the neighborhood. Mo will be reading the scripture that day. Nice. So, man, what a week, huh? And then football.
So
I don't know if y'all seen football on Sunday.
When we're on Sundays, we miss football, and now we're on Thursday nights, and we're missing football. I do want to talk about the Tua Tagovailoa situation. So last week, Tua, the Miami Dolphins quarterback, was injured in a play. Ironically, was tackled by a Tongan nose guard, Josh Tupou,
which was just doing his job. He was just doing
his job, and he actually said, we have some shots of him. He actually said that that's not at all the last thing he ever wants to do is hurt another Polynesian brother. Right. So I think that gets kind of lost in the whole thing. He's the longest standing member on that defensive squad. Yeah. He's been on that team the longest of any of the defensive players. So he was actually around back when Marvin Lewis was there. So, he gets hurt on Thursday, but there was so much that led up to what happened. Before we get, too far into it, I think that's a tweet by Tua saying he's okay and he appreciates all the support and everything. So, before we go too far with that, he has responded. He has spoken out that he's okay and he's recovering. So thoughts and prayers to the Tagovailoa family. But as we get into this, I think there's, when we talk about, there's a shot of him being tackled by Josh Tupou. When we talk about, all of the movie, right, with Will Smith and with Pacific Islanders, specifically Samoans, CTE hits close to home because of Junior Seau's situation. There's a lot of things here that are really concerning in the way that this was handled. So this was last Thursday, a week ago from tonight. But on Sunday, which is a very short window of time, there's already controversy on whether you should have a game so close between a Sunday and a Thursday. On Sunday against the Bills, he was thrown down, pushed down, hits his head, gets up, and is stumbling as he's trying to get back to the huddle.
It was kind of sad, though. And then his teammates see that he's stumbling back to the
His
huddle, and they're like,
teammates are the
"Yeah,
ones that
dude, you're done." Yeah,
had to. And so the protocol is he went into the locker room at halftime and they analyzed him. And when you're stumbling around and shaking your head, trying to, clear
right,
the cobwebs, those are signs of concussion, right? They call it gross motor hindrance. So
right,
when you're falling down, that's
yeah,
gross motor problems.
right.
Clearly, that's a concussion. And he talked his way out of it. And football players are going to do that. And I think that's where the NFL and coaches have to be the ones that say,
No,
I get what you're
yeah,
saying. For your own good, we're going to hold you back. So they put him back out on the field. He finished that game. Not only does he finish the game, he goes back on Thursday night and he gets thrown down on his head. And with that scary moment where he's on the ground, his fingers are,
right.
he's
That's awful.
seizing up. But there was a tweet put out by Chris Nowinski. Chris Nowinski is a Harvard educated doctor. And he tweeted this before the game started last Thursday. And it says, if Tua takes the field tonight, it's
I
a
think
huge,
we have a picture of that. In
Yeah.
his tweet. Yeah.
He said, if Tua takes the field tonight, it's a huge step backwards in concussions for the NFL. If he gets hurt, if it ruins his career, everybody's responsible. So Nowinski says that before the game starts on Thursday. The game starts, he ends up getting, stretchered off of the field. I think there's a problem in the way that it was handled. I don't think that, if they're serious about concussions, how Tua was able to get on that field and play on Thursday, that needs to be looked into. There's the tweet from Nowinski. And again, that's before the game started on Thursday. He was saying that he shouldn't be taking the field. That's a Harvard-trained PhD doctor. He's the founder of the Concussion Legacy Foundation, former WWE wrestler. So he talks.
What did he wrestle under?
What's that?
What was his wrestling name?
Chris Nowinski. I don't know. He was. Where did he beat D'Lo Brown in his WWE debut? You remember Maven?
No.
You remember Maven?
I don't
But
really watch wrestling.
He was in the first.
I thought maybe he was like a big.
No. He
Oh.
was. I mean, he made it on he was on TV. He was in the WWE. But if you're a wrestler, you know a few things about CTE and concussions.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, knowing what happened to Junior Seau, knowing what happens with multiple concussions,
Right.
do you think he should play again later this year?
No, I think he's out. He should be out for the rest of the season.
Do you think he will be out for the rest of the season?
No.
Neither do
He's
I.
going to fight his way back in.
I think he's going to, and that was one of the things they talked about is players lie. Drew Brees said that he lied all the time.
Yeah.
When he did an interview following Tua's injury.
I get that.
Football players are going to lie.
Yeah.
But the coaches and the doctors
Mm.
are supposed to be there, to protect them.
Yeah.
I hope Tua doesn't play. I hope he doesn't play the rest of this year, and I
Me
hope
too.
that he figures out whether he should play again. But if I was a betting man, I think that I would say he ends up playing again later this year.
I think so too. And that the doctors have to clear him. Like now they're going to really be technical, where last week they weren't. Oh, you're feeling fine and you clear. They said he cleared the protocol, whatever protocol and the NFL has, which they need to revisit that. They said he was fine.
But that gross motor problems, that's one of the protocols.
Yeah.
Right. So even when they say he cleared the protocols, it's on video of him not, that's not his back. He tried to say, oh, that was my back. My back seized up.
Right.
Like you're stumbling around, trying to shake your head to clear, shake
Get
your head to clear
clear.
cobwebs.
Right.
So even the NFL's protocol wasn't followed. They
Yeah.
fired there's an independent neurosurgeon or neurologist and one of the NFL doctors that did the analysis at halftime. They ended up firing the independent one after, but he went back and played later that game,
Yeah.
and they put him back in 4 days later, 4 days later.
Yeah. I think if he passed the test, like, I don't know any guy that gets hurt during football. Like you're all, what is it? You're all on whatever adrenaline
Mhm.
kick that you're on, and you're like, put me in, put me back in, put me back in. Like, if you are a coach and you want to win, I get that. And you've been cleared by you've been cleared by a medical doctor. And then, of course, I don't know Tua at all. I met him once though. But I would assume, like any other athlete, put me back in. I'm
You
good to
don't
go. Put me back in.
you
Put me
don't get
back
to be
in.
in the NFL as a
Right.
starter, any kind of starter,
Right.
without being fiercely competitive
And
and want to be on the field.
and having that fighting spirit. Like, he has the fight. That's why he's there. That's why he's in the NFL. But watching that video of him stumbling on that broke my heart. That broke my, and if I was his mother, I would be like, what the fuck? Like, get him off the field. And I don't know, I would be cussing the coach out and whatever doctor cleared him.
Flew back. They flew back on Friday morning
Yeah.
from Cincinnati to Miami. He got on an airplane, which, if you have a concussion, should you be on an airplane
Right.
and
Because
fly
of
back?
that pressure.
And
yeah.
you've got, 10 days, because they're not going to play on Sunday.
Right.
And then you have till the following Sunday. Like, there was no real rush to get him on a plane and send him
Right.
home.
Right.
Like, leave him in Cincinnati and continue to observe him. It doesn't seem like anything was handled really well.
Yeah, and we don't know the story or what's going on, but I don't know, somebody's ass would be getting fired, or me being a mother, I would cuss everybody out. I would just cuss everybody out. So
That's how you look at things, right?
Yeah.
That's how I look at things as a parent or as a husband or as
Right.
a father, and you look at things like a
yeah,
wife or
if
a
that
mother.
was my son, I would be cussing everybody out. And especially if I have access to the locker room and to the next day, I would be in somebody's office in my head shaking and taking my earrings off.
It's interesting seeing a lot of the former players
Yeah.
they say, and it's funny to hear them say it. They're like, if I were him, I would keep playing because I'm 24,
Yeah.
and that's just the way that you're wired that way.
Yeah.
But if I could give him advice right now, I would never play again.
Yeah.
I would take the 25 million
And
go off and live, a life, because there's a life after you stop playing football. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to stop playing football at
Right.
30,
Yeah.
35 maybe.
You gotta go get a job.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear players like Shannon Sharp and Rodney Harrison say, you couldn't have, so I would have done the same thing at 24. I would
Yeah.
lie, I'd do whatever I could. He goes,
get back on the
but
field.
now I would tell him, don't play. But
He doesn't know that now.
he's 24.
He doesn't know that now. Yeah, so it's pretty sad to watch, and he's a PI guy, so we're like, but yeah, I mean, anybody that went through that what we watched, I would be upset too. So yeah, so hopefully he'll come back, 100%. I hope that he takes the time to 100% heal his body physically and mentally before he comes back. It's just
What's weird is you look at the original play on the previous Sunday, where the one where he ends up falling down as he's going back. It's not that. I mean, he's just pushed and he falls backwards and bangs his head on the tree. Like, it's not. It just, if you watch the play, it's one of those things where you look at it and go, that doesn't look that bad.
Right.
And it's so common.
Right.
Where they're hitting their head on the turf. Just crazy. It's crazy to think of how fragile it all is. So I hope whatever the best thing for his health is what he does.
Yeah. Relax, kid. Relax. Like, you could take a break. So, yeah, I just hope he stays off and heals 100%. Levasa is on, checking in from Modesto. You just missed us advertising for about 5 minutes of how great your stuff is.
209.
Yeah, so Levasa is checking in on Facebook. Thank you so much. But yeah, we're just poor Tua. And then I was on TikTok, and two people, I think, are trying to make this a Tongan Samoan thing, and
Come on.
it's so stupid. Like everybody, this one guy is like, "Oh, everybody's blaming the Tongans," but I was like, "Fool, are we still doing that? Like, how old are you? Are you from the 70s?"
I mean,
And
Josh himself has said
yeah,
like the injury overshadowed. It's his first sack. It's his first NFL
Right.
sack of his career.
right,
And they were asked. He was asked like,
Right.
"What does this overshadow?" And he said, "Absolutely, of course, it's overshadowed."
yes,
Like I never
yeah.
wanted.
I mean, and he's the Pacific Islander guy. You like this, and he was doing his job. That was his
Right.
job.
And he
It's
talked
not
about the
a
family because
right,
he's PI,
right,
he's Polynesian. He knows like what the family's going through, and
Right.
he specifically talked about the family. So
right.
that's just come on, people.
Yeah,
Leave
it's
that
so
alone.
stupid. Yeah, so everybody like I think two guys did that, and then every PI on TikTok is attacking them. It's kind of
Good,
funny.
good.
Yeah, I don't want to say their name because I don't want to give them any more like whatever they're trying to do. But it's kind of funny to watch PIs attack these people. So yeah, so that was a crazy week. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen the Niners play, but that's what happened on Sunday.
Who did
Still
they play? They played the Rams.
Rams.
They
They played the
played-
Rams. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
beat them up.
Beat them up. Beat them up. Beat them up.
Jimmy G in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I just
He could win the Super Bowl. I don't know even if that.
Can he do that though? Can he do that? Because he's been there. He's been there, and so that's my thing. Anyway, that was our football take on, and of course, prayers to Tangaloa. We have a new segment, our Pacifica Proud, where we're going to shout out people that we think, or that we, that we think deserves a shout out this week, and we'll start with Carl before we check out.
Oh, nice to just throw that over this way. I'm going to give my Pacifica Proud shout out to PD Toy Lolo.
Yes.
To see him really finding his stride, getting connected in the community, seeing him at different events.
Yes.
And he's putting in work because we're seeing him on the peninsula.
Yes.
We're seeing him
He's coming in from the 209.
San Francisco and in not Burlingame. But I mean, we're seeing him a long ways away from home.
Yes.
He's putting in the work. He's following his passion. I'm so happy to see the things that he's accomplishing and that he's following his passion and loving what he's doing. So
Right.
my Pacifica Proud moment is for PD Toy Lolo. We are proud of you.
Yes, yay! I was going to do PD too.
Oh, that's what you get for
That's
throwing
what
me
you
under the
get for
bus.
sure. Yeah. I also my Pacifica Proud moment. I'm going to shout out. Geez, we just had to pick one. I'll go with the Kabasa Fetu'u crew who did this needs assessment that was like is needed. It's been needed. I mean, I know that's bad English, but they've been needed it in San Francisco. And they went out there and did the work and got the needs assessment, to asking San Francisco Pacific Islanders what they need instead of community people telling them what they're going to get. So big shout out to Danny Boy, to Bo, Christy Mawia, Mama Sil, Tone, Karina, Sarah, Professor, Tanibasa, Professor Loyan, just all the people that were involved. Pacifica Proud, that's what you've done. So awesome.
They also show kids that data researchers can look like you.
Yes. So I love that. So yeah, that is our new segment. We'll be shouting out our Pacifica Proud moment or proud people during our segment. So I think that is it for us. We are done with our third. Everybody's watching football now. Everybody's watching football, but
I don't even know who's playing.
I don't even know. But this week, let me look. But football is going on this Thursday. But you can catch us every Thursday at 6 p.m. right here or on YouTube. Go subscribe. Please go follow everyone that we mentioned on Instagram. Levasa Apparel, Petey Pete, the Living Room Media, Someone Solutions, um, Community Development Center, Jason Pereira, Tracy Williams, Hi Guy Lai, like everyone, Urban Asian, who I love, everyone that we've mentioned. Please go follow them on Instagram. Support your Pacifica, everything, media, food, everything, like we always say. We'll be here next Thursday at 6 p.m. Catch us Wednesdays on Island City TV at 10 a.m. Download the Dash Radio app. We're still going strong in LA at 106.1 Koviki Talk. We had Koviki Talk this past week in language with Dr. Tai Fatleava. Go check that out. That's on our YouTube. Go subscribe. We have another Koviki Talk coming up this week in language. It will be in Fijian. So check that out. We'll tag you all. Check us out. Come back to Faika with us.
Love y'all.